Welcome. So we're going to take a look at some rocks today. And some shells, I guess. We'll see how it goes. Yesterday, I went with Jack and Reed to Venice Beach area. Not sure exactly. Oh, I should scope it out well. So we were somewhere around here. Looking around. Let's see. I don't know. Probably it looks like there's a lot of rocks over this way. We were thinking maybe they were good for like holding things. Whoa, I switched cameras. You'll see why. But that camera right there, it keeps like flickering. It's probably in the data. It's not the best camera. But I got my normal camera is hanging right here. So we'll see how this goes. So let's just zoom out a bit. So this is basically considered best places in the world to find shark teeth fossils, maybe. Literally, that's where we were, which is pretty nearby. Nearby me. Anyway, so notably, I guess we'll just start by checking out the fossils. The things that I have, whatever they are. Some of them are just rocks. Some of them are shells. Whether or not any are fossils, I don't know. But for reference, just kind of checking out the geography, the terrain. We got this thing going on this way, these ripples, and then this thing here going on, this thing here going on. I know it's just a word thing, but like what in the... This thing here going on, a bunch of these things going on, like pores, like especially noticeable around here. Like big pores, little pores, all sorts of things that are like porous in appearance, worth noting. And so I guess the fossils, from what Jack was saying, are sourced from this lake. I believe it's this lake. It looks like it's this lake. Yeah. And then they come down the Peace River this way. And that's a great place to find fossils as well. But let's check out these stones. So we're going to turn off or turn on this camera. Let's see how it goes. Let's check out a shallogram. Here's a shallogram first. Not the best zoom. I noticed it's better further away. I also have a light. So this is, of course, not from there. This is one of the shallograms I have. But I thought I'd check it out right now. Okay, let's move on because it's shallogram. This one I thought was really cool. Maybe starting off with the one I thought was maybe the coolest. I'm like, my fingernail got this thing on it. Like, I need to be a hand model. Okay. Like, yeah, I bite my fingernails. You can know now, if you didn't already. It's so cool. So there's this the opening there. This is pretty good. Pretty good quality on this stone. I think the black of the shalograms is not so good, but this is pretty good. Maybe I should just bring this. I don't know. It's whatever. So this is a common theme for this like opening down the middle. So like this one's pretty cool. Maybe I can set it down. It's so little. We'll zoom in. That's the best I can do. Oh no. Okay. I believe in you. I really wish I had a camera capable of doing this. Okay, well, we'll focus on this little edge. Noticeably, this has that W shape right here. Common in shallograms and just currents. It does seem to focus sometimes. Okay, so there's that one. This one's real interesting. More about just a rock. Just a rock. But if you see, there's all sorts of features in it. Shells. Whether or not they're shells, I don't know. I'm really trying to figure out what's going on. If these are like fractal atoms of all sorts of different ways. This I found pretty interesting. It's this here. Let's find one that like intrigued me. That I certainly all of them, but let's find some cool ones real quick. Notably, this is very common. Very common. I mean, maybe not very common, but like the black stone. Shallogram. These are all of the black ones that I'm just pulling over here. Okay, let's see. This one's real interesting. Oh. It's hard to show it, maybe if I don't have all the stuff behind it. It's like a sandwich. Ice cream sandwich. With some tobacco on it. Lord. Okay. But it's like, it was a layer, and then it seemingly folded on itself. That's what it looks like. Like a taco. It's so hard. That's what she said. Okay, okay. Settle down. Settle down, classroom. This one's real cool. It's like a split. This material surrounds this wedge of material. This one's harder to show. Here's one. No, this is definitely a hole. There we go. There's the hole. I don't. There's a perfect. Notice how circular that is. Well, it did have it for a second. Very reminiscent of over here. These things. These things that are gonna keep coming to mind as we look at these. I don't have that many that are especially porous, but the pores on them are very reminiscent of this appearance. Notably, like generally down the middle, a pore goes through it and out this opening, or vice versa. I think it actually goes through the smaller opening and then widens and then comes out the larger opening, and possibly removed some of this material in here. Okay, this one's interesting. Let's see how well we can see it. Not that well. So it's kind of triangular, like a flat side, flat side, flat side. Notably, this side has like a node. So the triangle has like a flat, almost like a fourth side that has a node as the triangle's like third corner that's become influenced in some way. And then down the middle is this denser material, or black, like darker, sorry, darker material. Whether or not it's denser, I don't know. Although this does look more porous, the lighter material. And then on the other side, this darker material again is kind of protruding in a like mountain, like a mountain peak. So it's like a mountain peak kind of thing. And notably, I found this shell. And I just thought it's kind of interesting if I just kind of go like this. Like, maybe a specific place even like there. Like, they really... It almost perfectly fits atop it. Like, I wonder if sometimes things like this happen from like a node like this, but basically a layer below that's more flat initially, like say like this, just hanging out, and then it's got this shell forming above it. Maybe I'm not sure if they're forming or what exactly the process is. I feel like it's likely like shallograms where it's actually not fossils, but I mean, I don't want to say that too widespread without like considering each specific case, because that's pretty much what needs to happen. But I'm basically considering the potential that it's like part of the process because of things like this, where maybe like a undercurrent went through this way, like through the center, and made a triangle. So like it's a current moving this way, and then it starts to push, and it literally like fans out three edges around the current. So if we look around these stones real quick, like, let me find the triangle ones. Maybe this one's somewhat triangular. Like, it's got a sharp point here. Let me move this. Oh, it's not zooming very well. There, maybe. It's still not showing this sharp point very well. Right here. That then has a flat face this whole length from that point all the way to here, and then another flat face. So it's kind of got like two flat face triangular sides, and then a third side that kind of goes across and these like protrude past it, is kind of how I'm looking at it. Where it's generally triangular though. So here's another possible triangle type thing. I don't see anything down the middle necessarily, although it does have little crevices. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, you can kind of see them. The little crevice there, like right, like almost like a edge was made, an edge. So maybe it pushed in and pushed out the boundary, like to make these crevices, and physically push that edge as a current goes in generally this way, like like pushing a button, and then it shaped it but didn't actually go through. Maybe something of that nature. Just a thought. Here's another triangular one. Wonder if I get it closer if it will work somehow. Nope. This one's not that exciting. I mean, it's got pretty flat side. I mean, it's not that it's not that exciting. It just doesn't have more features than being a triangle that are. Maybe it has a little bit of a inward indentation here in the internal side of the side, and then an outward convex surface maybe a bit on this side. So it's somewhat rounded. It's certainly not flat. So that's something. Let's see. This one again. It's not triangular, but notably it's maybe hexagonal, polygonal, like 8-sided. I'm not unclear exactly what sided it might have balanced at. Maybe this angle's like pushing 130 or 120, 135, 120. I don't know. Just a thought. Also, because of those, it gives me the impression there's like a top and bottom and left and right going on it. Like an orientation. I know this one's probably not very easy to see. So let's see, we talked about that one. Let's see. Here's another one we haven't looked at. Lots of little indentations. Maybe I can take this. Just kind of put it over there. Let's see. Okay. Although, maybe this whole area is worth noting. It would be cool if we saw some features that pretty much looked like that. Looks kind of rounded, like maybe like a nucleus there. Somewhat forming. Let's see. Let's see what else we got. Oh yeah, we got this one. This one's pretty crazy. Perfect circle, pretty much. Quite triangular again. Hole down the middle. Lots of little places that just like look like current went in and like a real tiny needle, like tiny spots here and here right next to each other. Almost like impacts. Like twin impacts. It's so cool. Okay, let's check out this one. There it sits. Not that stable, rocks around a bit. I wonder if that's relevant in like important ways in terms of actual stability of a system. Even the same over there. There are some visible holes to see through. Is it right here? Not sure if I'll be able to get it on camera. That right there. It's a dark little spot. That's so cool. Here, here, and then there. It's like totally different directions that it seems to be flowing into it. Almost like it wasn't like sitting there, it was like moving around, but getting hit by maybe repetitive currents that were influencing it like that. I don't know, just a thought. This one's pretty interesting. Given this is a Sharktooth, capital of the world, there's just this rock that looks rather shark-toothy. I should probably have prepared some shark teeth. I didn't even take out all the pieces, I guess. I swear they were in here. No, they're just rock. I feel like the rocks don't get the love. So they're probably not as picked through as the shark teeth. Like, people go there and go for shark teeth. Well, we can, in this image, maybe you guys can't see it because of the size. Like, almost see, like, rings. Whoa. Kind of reminiscent of maybe some of these that have like a perfect circle on one side, but on the other side it's more like opened. Maybe this one. This one's got the one with a really nice clean circle on that side. Small one. And then on this side is the more, it's almost like it just removed some material there. So maybe the same thing happened in here, like around the edges got like pushed out by a physical current coming up out of the earth there. And maybe in just all of these places due to the cross current going underneath and then just like boiling, maybe boiling water through the crust and creating porosity by heated steam currents, maybe. Heavy, like definitely a steam type of venting, I would say. Or hot water, at least. Maybe not truly steam, but steam powered by the hot boiling of the water. That just, here we go. Okay, I found a tooth. Okay, I found a tooth. We found a tooth. So there's a truly, sorry, Sharktooth. There's a truly drop it. I know. This one, it's sharp. Like, it's quite possible that there are shark teeth there, although I find it a little odd that it would be concentrated in one region for like fossil shark teeth, because that's really also here. So for there to be fossil shark teeth and shark teeth is a little odd to me. Like, it makes more sense to me that most of them are fossil shark teeth, and in an odds are kind of way, and then like most modern shark teeth end up more spread out, although it's possible that they do end up right there. I don't know. So here's this. But like, let's see, something interesting I found, if I can find them. I'm looking for them. For instance, this one. Oh, I almost have to literally take pictures and post them over top of the video and edit it. Yay! So it's not a seashell. It has these features. Like, it's not a seashell. This one's real interesting if I can get it to show even for a second. Like, what's going on there? Wait, don't drop it. No. Wrong way, man. How did it work? Maybe by covering the background enough. Well, we saw it. Sorry, guys. It was there. You can find it if you didn't skip through past it. And this one again has some of the features here with those ridges. It's possible some of this stuff is like already documented and pretty well as fossils or some other reasoning that's given. I would like to know the precise things or what are said about all these details and whether or not they're really spoken of all of the types of details that are present. Maybe not in this instance, this might be more documented, but in many instances like shalograms, like they're just not documented. So it's possible the same is going on here in ways where, because we think they're fossils, we just don't pay attention to details. As simple as that. If we thought they were made by currents, we'd be like, that's pretty interesting. Hard to get. Too much background again. Pardon me, stunts. Yeah, that might have helped. Bunch of little red class, maybe? I don't know if that's the appropriate term. And then not on this side, though. This one's pretty interesting. This one's actually really interesting if we can get it to focus on it. So it's got that little like indentation in the middle. Right. Hither. That's still not pointy enough, but that's okay. It's very smooth. It's reminiscent of the smoothness and polishedness of a seashell, like the inside here. It's got like a similar texture to it. Over here as well. Let's go back there. Going back to Cali, Cali. Something like that. Looks like there's a shell like right there. Real tiny one. Maybe even several tiny ones. There's definitely something going across this way. What can I use to point at this? It's more porous. There's like a row of pores where that brown color is. So that's that one. Going back to that one. Very, very much like a shallogram. Shallygram, Shallygram. On road. So this one, we can kind of see the two holes right here. That we can physically see through, hopefully. Let's shine a light. Oops. Let's shine a light. Hopefully it's not too bright. Come here. Come here, Shadagram. Sorry, guys. That was probably pretty bright. Okay, we got one there for a second. Both of them are like a little needle holes through it. Okay, so let's see what else we got. I got so many, I could just sit here for hours. I should probably stop it at an hour or so, but let's see. How about this one? Another triangle. I don't think we looked at this one. That really deep indentation. It didn't go all the way through. It went through all the way right there. At the top bottom there. Oh my god, it's so hard. Maybe if the camera was not backwards. The middle one doesn't go through all the way, but it's still a triangle with a indentation in one side. This side's very flat. Very flat. This side not so flat. Oh, still pretty flat. Just rough. Rough surface roughness. And then a seashell in there. So I was thinking maybe it's possible that like the seashell forms in this process. Like, I don't know. If I have it. I don't think I have it. Like for instance here. I was thinking maybe it just forms in here and then it breaks out of it. Like maybe there's less formed like shark teeth, not that start out in a more of a matrix like this, as well as the seashells that are forming in the matrix by currents that are then inducing like sufficient activation energy to cause these systems out of differentiation, like a sufficient differentiation to then create seashells out of basically a homogeneous mixture, a well mixed mixture that has the materials in it to be seashells, but they're not concentrated enough to like manifest as seashells. But with currents flowing, they can concentrate them inside the matrix to then produce just seashells in mass in a way that it looks like there are all these seashells that really were formed when the earth expanded. That's pretty interesting, that little wedge shape of that dark material. Looks like it goes in a bit. It goes in a bit. I thought it was more just circular. Oh, you're yawning, so that's probably a good sign. This is really exciting content. I didn't clean these off that well yet. Still sand. Although maybe that's good. I need like a microscope for this. Okay, let's see. How about this one? Another with a circular indentation near the middle. Although this side, it's a little off. It's a little this way. And then this is a lot this way. This feature. I wonder if they're related. It may be that this feature is more related to this feature. And like basically a current going through this way at oh my god, at this angle, like down through here, through there, but then like physically through the rock at this point, through there, like this. Where did I put that? Oh well. This one. I know, sweet pants. I know. Through there. And out here. Another triangle. This one has a node sort of extending out of the triangle. And almost, I would say opposite, like this came through this way and physically pushed the material just over here, maybe? I don't know. Or it energetically, like, went in and pushed it out. Went in and across to here, but also went in and back and ballooned out this section, maybe? Something. This one's pretty interesting. Ready for this? That's hard to say. Okay, we got an instant. Hopefully we can flip it. So, this shell here, starting from here, oh, it's hard to show. But essentially, starting from here, going across this whole length, across here, and then through to here, is literally the material of this shell continues. Like, it's not some other material. It's literally the same material going across here to this other shell, connecting the two. And then there's this other little shell piece up here connected with a pore type structure in there. Like, what the fuck? Another shell here. Looks like even another shell maybe in there. Or that's part of that one, maybe. This one. Either way, it's multiple shells, like, literally fused together by the components of the shell itself. High five. I can't help it. Okay. Just grab this. Check it out a little bit. It's a little node. Oh. That's incredible. That's incredible. It's incredible, gosh. Gosh. Guys, is anyone listening to me? Why does no one listen to me anyway? Guys. Why would you not listen to me, guys? That's pretty cool looking, guys. It looks like one of those spirals. It might just be circles. It's hard to see with my eyes. This is actually better. It may spiral like one of those Native American type of things. I don't know. And also elsewhere. But just kind of like a galaxy looking spiral. I would like it to be. Yeah, I think it is. I mean, it's like a shell, but it's like a spiral. Just straight up like a spiral there. Just imprinted. Okay, enough of that. Enough of that! Tomfoolery. We saw this one already. Maybe we can see it better. Maybe we can see it better. It's like it's folded over. Kind of like that taco one, but a little different. It's just a mess. Just folded on itself. Like it was just rolling along as it formed. Like this one. Taco rock. Taco rock. Just eat it. Just eat it. This one's got a little ring going on. Only on that side. Not on this side. It's like curled out. It's also kind of like straight this side, coming more to a like sharper point. It's definitely very straight on this side to a like bend. So maybe it bent a little bit in a similar way to the other one. It just didn't fold on. It didn't fold. Okay. Let's see. Diamond shaped one. So my thoughts are maybe things like this are like the mold of the tooth, of the shark tooth that just didn't form the shark tooth. Rather than being like a remnants of a decayed one, it's like a eroded one so badly. Not necessarily in this case, but in some cases where it's like looks more like it's from the traditional standpoint that it's like eroded a lot more than the ones that are pristine, is that it just didn't form as much as the pristine ones. The pristine ones really were shaped. So maybe things like this are like steps in the process, if that's the case. I mean, if the case, obviously, but the only way to know is to consider it. There's definitely a lot of them like that. Let's see some other shells. See some other shells. Just another shell, you know. It's the smiley face one. Oh, gotta do it that way. It's like he's happy when he's blazing up, bruh. A little node and then little nodes here. This is like a positive node that's pushing through and then causing like the overlayer to break off, like in this case, where it broke completely by something physically perhaps pushing upward through from like this kind of way where it like physically got pressured to grow through it and just like broke it. Oh my god, I know, guys. But just did like boom and broke that off, maybe. Where in this case, it just like only did that much. I mean, it even looks like it indented here. That's definitely opposite. Indent here. Let's see if we can really see that indentation. Really indented. And then just opposite. Right there. Exactly opposite. So this is for sure from that indentation. This feature that has pushed up through it. Some pressure and outside pressure, as we can see, because it's indented here. Mind you, the fact that it's indented like this really shows that it's not like it, It's this shell. Like, I'd more openly say this is not actually shell look-alike. Is wasn't like solidified completely when this pressure was applied to it, so it was malleable. It wasn't brittle, like it would have broken in the same conditions. Like, to try to do this to a shell without breaking it from just applying pressure, like, it needed the right conditions to indent the shell, and it did. And when it did, it busted through that side, which maybe played a role in creating like a eddy center, that thing, like currents went around, and maybe something to do with why there's like a divot here, the two eyeball things. So he's blazing up from the indentation. Let's see if we can come up with a smiley face. I mean, it's potentially related to indentation, in terms of it just breaking off like that portion as well. Another of these things, very much like this. This one's so defined. Like, what in the hell? Is very odd. I don't know what explanation traditional science would have for these things. These little, because it seems like it's like probably something eating it. Something eating it, probably. But like, notice those are little like boop 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 boop. And then it goes up to this crack that goes across. Like, these boops stop at the crack, and this crack that's right here continues generally into this region. So whatever was boop boop booping, like, spread out in this region, and perhaps went into this hole in part, like, because of its presence, and went out that way, perhaps. If there's something going up and in this way, creating a node, sorry, I know, it's so bad. Creating a node, maybe it's, again, kind of creating a place where currents tend to go around, which then leads to this some reason. This one's indentation is maybe opposite that. I don't know if that's relevant. Like, I feel like this is more so an indentation from just like the presence of an outside system like this. Just that was pushing in on it by its pressure, and there were other pressures, just weights, pressures all combining, that then like happened to be there, and then that was there, but happenstance is maybe not the best way to think. I'm no better than time plus erosion plus coincidence at that point in my interpretation. Okay, let's move on from that one. This one's pretty cool in a similar way. Pretty, like, this, the odds of this from just erosion happenstance is pretty small, I'd say. Plus, coupled with another one, like, pretty much center between them, maybe even especially center with the lines considered. Maybe not. More so over here with these considered, in case their flow paths matter. Oh, there we go. Looks like a mask. Weird as a mask. Nope, didn't work. He's so stupid. Why do you do it? Oh yeah, no one does. I don't know, I just like this one, I guess. Okay, let's check out this. I'm not sure. I think it's just a shell in terms of where like it's definitely got the curving. They're curving like a shell appearance. It's got a shell appearance. Whether or not it's a shell or a expanding earth created shell, unclear. Lots of pores that are filled with material. It's almost like it's almost like it's like heavier because it's literally just got a bunch of materials, like little particles. If you guys, it's like blackheads, like literally pores filled to the brim into the layer, then that's like porous enough that it's like a layer, like a makes me think of like a hydrogen fuel cell type of powered car technology that would use like I want to say like nanotube type things to store the hydrogen, like a porous material to store the hydrogen. This reminds me very much of a porous material that's storing like the sandy, subtle particles relative to it. Pretty interesting. Like it literally got pushed in there though. It filled the space. To a degree. Maybe I'm assigning too much to it. It feels heavier, but maybe it's just bigger and thicker enough. This one's pretty cool. This one's just nice. It's cute. It's cute. It's so cute. It's so cute. Wait, this is like it looks clean. I don't think it broke there. Maybe it did. Maybe it broke here. It looks like it broke there. It looks like it broke here. And that this went more smoothly to here. Little guy though. Little guy. This one I wouldn't be surprised if like was a living creature, of course. I'm not saying they're not all or that they're all made by currents, although I would probably interpret at some point that they are still made by currents even today. And there's this angle where it's just clockwork universe. Like maybe the expanding earth where time was expedited just literally turn the earth into a different frequency where those times pass. But again, that's why shallograms are so crazy, because they just don't seem like that's the case. This thing I thought was interesting. It's got a bunch of layers, a bunch of little layers. Triangular-ish, wedge-shaped. Also curved a bit on this side. Curved, like, and curved out here too. Like a force went this way and pushed into it and curved it. I just thought, I mean, not necessarily, that's... I think we saw this one. I should probably have been more orderly in this, too. Here's another Sharktooth. I always say that's a Sharktooth. But it's much more in the area where it's more able to look like something like, say, this thing. Like, that's probably... This one's got definition. We can see the, like, way the coloration changes in the middle, like Sharktooth. Like this one. Like, it's got a similar point in it where it goes out and back. Where this one doesn't, although it does have a color here. It's got like a brown color here. So it's possible whatever coloration is there is related to like why, if this is like a step in the process, why it would do something like that. This one is an elongated hexagon this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sided. 2 layered. Just 2 layers. Whatever's going on there, showing like the bottom side where almost like the adhesive between the layers. Smooth side. Okay. Let's just dump it. We're dumping it. We're dumping it. We got that guy. That guy. This guy. This one's pretty similarly Sharktooth-like, but not a Sharktooth. Like, it's even got a change in the color here. Not a shark tooth, though, but from a place where shark teeth are found. Okay. Let's see what else we got. Okay, we got some cool stuff in here. We got some cool stuff. Show and tell, baby. Okay, here's another tooth. Much more tooth-like.
Okay, let's check out some other stuff. Oops. Another tooth. I think that's another, yeah. Another tooth. Whoa, it's got a tooth here. Right there. Does Sharktooth usually have multiple teeth on them? I don't know. You can even see my skin on it. From me rubbing my finger into it. Like, is that sharp? Yep, it's took my skin off. Get my. I think that was my skin. Maybe not. There's something there. Okay, there we go. Got it off. Okay, we go. Do it like that, I guess. Let's Google that. Let's just Google it. Let's Google it. Monitor. Oops. I guess we can do this. I don't know. Shark teeth. How many teeth? Da, 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 da. Da, da, da. Why am I getting like freaking. Okay, okay. This thing. Freaking palm. Oh. Oh, yeah. Probably help if I made this smaller, huh? Let's go back there. Okay. So it's got a bunch of little ridges on it. We found a couple of them like this. Layers that way, ridges that way. Smooth side this way. So that was there. A little rock, I guess. Let's see. This looks like a shell, maybe. It's got interesting layering. It's pretty thick for a shell, like at its thickest. It's cool. Oops. It's pretty thick at its thickest for a shell, but maybe. It does look like kind of like it would have came from a shell. Oh my god. Alright, next. Just throwing it up there. Oh, this one's pretty cool. Wait, focus! It's just a shell on the side. It's a little weirdly shaped around here. There's definitely something going across here, down, not quite at the middle, like right here. I've never seen a shell with 4 pockets like this. Maybe. It's a very odd shaped shell, I thought, from my experience of looking at shells. Enough that I was like, okay, cool. Grab that one. Another just kind of one of those layered. It's layered. It's got striations, maybe. Almost like wood looking on that side.
I thought you were asleep.
I don't know. Interesting. Let's see. Let's see. Another shark tooth. But like another shark tooth, I guess. Yeah, that's another shark tooth. Missing part of it. And then another like elongated black thing. That's got like striations down it again. Layering type stuff going on. Another like that, and this one's got again with the one side that looks kind of like it's got like a adhesive on it, and then the smooth side. Here's another one of those weird ones. Layered ridges. This one I thought was pretty interesting. Very much reminds me of the one I showed earlier that was much grayer looking. Don't know where it fits. Like the first one I showed, I think. You guys can figure it out. Looks like a little piece of rice. A little grain of rice. But with like a tooth-like shape to it. Not like a tooth though, but tooth-like shape. Like it doesn't look like a tooth, but it looks like it's tooth-like. That's the thing. It's like, no, in other words, like it didn't complete the process. Okay, we got one of these. Pretty sweet. Some coral. What exactly coral is, I'm not sure what to think about it right now. Okay, that's not it. Here it is. Here it was. Here it is. This one. And this one. It's like the same thing happening in both of them. We're just got a little bulb section down here, and then an elongated, thinner section. A little bulb section. And then like a, maybe not as elongated, maybe it's about half and a half lengthwise between the thinner part of this one and longer part, or in wider part. This one's almost about half and half too. I wonder if that's relevant. I mean, obviously it would be if it's based on currents and shapes being formed. Okay. Here it is. Maybe. Looks like a tooth, ain't a tooth. It's got the same general shape. I mean, it's certainly maybe different. It's possible some of the things that look like a tooth are sourced differently than other things that look like a tooth, and maybe even, especially the things that are a tooth in appearance, like this thing. Like this thing's source maybe is not the same as this thing's source, but maybe it is the same as this thing's source in terms of just the way the currents are flowing. Maybe not the same materials, and obviously not in this case, but that there's some tendency that's especially prevalent in this location due to the currents that led to just prolific production of certain shapes that tended towards stuff like this, but like really at certain limits would approach like Sharktooth in appearance and literally be Sharktooth, maybe even like in and of themselves, like just a component. I don't know. That would be cool. Okay, dudes, long enough. Thanks for hanging out with me as I go through the stones I just found. This is for sure the coolest one I thought I found here. They're all pretty cool now that I look through them a little bit more. And but lots of stuff going on this one. It's got like shells down in here, which I find interesting. Okay, without further ado, peace out. See y'all later.